You know, it's been rough. I've been trying rather hard to assert myself over the last few years, though you could say I've been trying for much longer than that in the offline world. It's hard because I don't think anybody really knows the real me. I'm not really all that forward about who the person behind the avatar is, even if my actual self pops in and out every so often. But that makes a lot of this video creation stuff really lonely. I'm gonna point out something rather obvious. I'm not good at reacting to things off the cuff. I'm not good at coming up with responses to things, good or bad, in the moment. There's a reason that every video I make starts with a script, and this video is no exception. It is just easier for me to put my words on paper first, and then lend a voice to those words. I guess you can say I'm not a very confident person, and maybe that makes you wonder why I ever thought about doing content creation in the first place. If I actually sit down and ask myself that question, I realize that I threw myself into all of this without considering any sort of long-term goal. The first time I tried it, during the event which shall not be named, it was going to be a mechanism through which to market the novels I was writing. But that ultimately flopped. And when I decided to try again from a gaming perspective in 2023, I guess a part of me just said, do what you can to get eyes on you, and then figure out what the hell it is you're going to say. I realize that is not very sustainable, and having gone through this for 2.5 years, I would say the reasons to keep going found me instead of me finding them. I think the idea of ever going viral still scares me a little, seeing as I do get the occasional hate comment and slew of dislikes in my inbox to this day. Yet I am still here, still making videos, still putting my words out there for the random passersby who will stop, listen for a while, and then go about their day. And I do read all my comments and try to respond to the genuine ones. I want people to know that I am appreciative when they choose to spend their time here. But that said, it occurs to me that this people not knowing me thing goes both ways, because I don't really know my audience either. For what it's worth, I know the bulk of my audience is males ages 18 to 34, because those are the demographic for whom racing games and car culture make the most sense. And I see a lot of YouTubers in this particular space who both treat the space and identify the space as being something of a boys' club, which probably makes them wonder why a transgender woman would want to be in the space at all. This is the paradox of the content I create. All of my theming is inherently girly, with purple colors literally everywhere, a way of speaking which fluctuates between hick and valley girl on a literal whim, and if we're being honest, being one of the least competitive motorists in any racing game that I play. The stories I have tried to tell, whether that is in Motorfest or Grid or Need for Speed, have all been centered around the idea of racing as a form of social currency. Grid 2 in particular was low-hanging fruit because it was literally about YouTube views in the game itself. I only added the trans hazing subplot because it was a series plot hole which, ironically enough, Grid Legends mirrors in its racial and gender-based hazing plots. That actually led to my decision to purchase Grid Legends shortly after my Grid 2 series had finished airing. There has been a part of me weighing the scripting of a road trip talk where I proclaim racing games have always been woke. Because, well, It's why I keep playing them, even if it's not why others do. It makes me wonder if the reason I don't like certain racing games like Forza Horizon when other racing gamers do is because there is actually one thing that Forza Horizon does do well, and that is getting people to compete against one another. Forza Horizon is built around the idea that you see your friends in free roam, can challenge them or strangers to races whenever you like, can do either PvP or team-based events, and even has a massive Fortnite-style Battle Royale mode if you care about that sort of thing. And I personally do not play with other people. It's really funny because when I am filming in the Crew 2 or Motorfest, I'm never in a crew. But people can pass by and decide whether to follow along in traffic, like in real life, or to be an asshat and try to get me to do an ad hoc street race against them. They obviously have no idea I'm filming, and I keep labels disabled so they won't end up in my videos, but they expect that because I am in the space, I am going to want to square off against them. And because my gamertag is cutest novelist, that I probably don't pose much of a challenge anyway. Which is why my content is as niche as it is. Most gamers who run YouTube channels or live streams do so under the pretext that they are above average and they want people to know it. Whether that is speedrunners or completionists or dedicated top of the leaderboard sweats, as I believe they are called. But that's not me. It never was. And it makes me wonder whether my audience expects that of me or not. I mean, what does my audience expect of me? After more than 2 years, I still do not know. And what do I expect of my audience? I suppose on some level, just to like me as an individual. I don't really push the like the video and subscribe thing too much compared to other creators who put a fucking annoying bell sound in their videos. But I do want people to like me as a person. To say, this is a really cool creator doing something authentic. I mean, that seems pretty bare minimum. But beyond that, I don't know. I can admit, when I saw creators playing games for a living and making more money per year than half the households in the country, I subconsciously asked, what about me? I'm sure anyone would. But in 2.5 years, YouTube has not paid me 1 damn cent. 11 Labs has paid me about $40, but that went back into my monthly payment of the service. If that ever does break even, I will let y'all know. Yet I still make these videos despite A, still being dead broke, and 2, not wanting to go viral in the first place. So why am I here? I think at some point it stopped being about the real world metrics and became about the character of myself in my own fictional story. Because if racing games are truly woke, as I mentioned previously, then that is the place where I fit right in. It means I can consider myself in good company alongside my peers in that space. You know, people like Jessica Miller or Sean McAllister, people like Kai Akana or Pierce Walker. And that's a bit of a stretch, I know. Yet it forms a semblance of community that I just haven't been able to find in the real world, even on my own YouTube channel. And that's infuriating for me. I want to be able to call myself the member of a real world community, but I just don't know how. I can continue to throw myself into the fictional space for as long as that side of me has a fictional career, or for as long as the real life me is alive to make these videos. Though someday, it likely will come to an end, and all be alone. Something that completely terrifies me. I don't want to be alone. I'm putting this out here, honestly, to distract myself from the utter craziness of the world we're in. But if you were able to make sense of my utter word salad, I do appreciate you sticking around. I think I'll let this be what it is, some food for thought. And once it's over, all I can do is go back to the editing grind. So, as always, thank you for watching.